This is Lewis Hart for Boxing Social in association with Empire Fight Store and William Hill. Delighted today to be joined with Mark Tibbs. We're here at the weigh-in for Joe Joyce versus Zhilei Zhang. Your man Tommy Fletcher is on the undercard. How's things, mate? How are we feeling going into this one?
Lovely, Lewis. Good to see you, and I'm really enjoying your stuff, what you're doing. It's nice, it's good, always good, always good.
I appreciate it, mate, appreciate it. As we say, another one ticked off for Tommy Fletcher. What's it been like this camp? He's got great sparring in Jordan Thompson, who's fighting for a world title next. How happy are you with his progression in this camp?
Tommy Fletcher, I always knew he's going to be a champion someday. It's all about the journey. He's young. It's all about him being built because he has phenomenal power in both hands. Very, very, very hard puncher. But obviously he needed to be built as he went along, as in fueling. As in eating, fueling was something he needed to focus on, and he didn't quite understand it. But over the last 3 or 4 fights he's had, he really has embraced it, and he's consistent. He's punching harder and faster. And he knows it. He feels it. He feels what we're trying to educate him on. It's working, and it was lovely to hear that he's got a nutritionist on board that's fueling him. And as I say, he can do rounds after rounds after rounds now, and he's got faster and harder. And his ring IQ, he's been out to Las Vegas at the start of Joe Joyce's camp. This camp here for this fight here against Zhang. He had 2 weeks with Joe Joyce in Las Vegas. He come back. He went straight into sparring with Jordan Thompson, who's fighting for the cruiserweight world title himself. He had 2 weeks with him, and he finished off with light heavyweight Craig Richards, who's bordering on big world title fights himself. So he's had really good work, and I heard him say the other day it was his best camp to date, and that's how it works. If you stay in the game and you keep progressing, that's how it should happen. You get better and better and better. Yeah.
Especially with someone like Tommy, who is a massive puncher for himself, and you've worked with a lot of fighters and worked with so many different sort of types of body builds. But do you think with Tommy's build, he's not exactly he's not a massive, big, muscly, but he's big, tall, and long limbs. So do you feel like sort of sometimes the long limb guys that don't always look the biggest, they're always sort of the big punchers because of the long limbs that they've got?
Yeah, I don't work with bodybuilders, fighters, right? But I know what you mean. Different frames, different body types. Yeah. Different body types. No. But no, Tommy, he's slim. He was very slim when he come in, but he still had that power. But he's developing. He's looking more defined. He's maturing. His body's going to thicken out. And I have noticed in the last year he's doubled up in the speed, because for me he needed to get a lot faster. He's got busier, and he's just maturing. He's not the finished article yet, but he's on his way.
We'll go on to the main event. We know Tommy's been sparring Joe Joyce. He's in a sort of a do or die fight. Him and Tommy are managed by the same stable. What do you think Joe Joyce needs to do to get the victory tomorrow night?
Well, I've just seen Joe. I saw him for the Tommy Fletcher had one more spar with him here in the UK as well. A couple of weeks back. He's to me, he looks a lot stronger this time. But what he needs to do, in my opinion, is be fast, hard and first, and not let Zhang build that, get his rhythm going, if you know what I mean. And because Joe's not the best in slipping shots. So if you can't move your head, you've got to be fast, hard and first. Do you get me? And try and, plenty of right hands against the southpaw, plenty of right hands, and down and up with that right hand. And if you can, you get the left hook off. For me, last time, he was looking for the left hook with the southpaw, too much. That's just me on the outside, looking on as a fan of Joe's. But I'm sure he's done his homework. Him and his trainer Salas done his homework. He certainly looks a lot stronger now. and I think he's put that 24 pounds back on that he took off for the first fight. It looks like it anyway. Let's hope he has.
And from a confidence point of view, when someone's beaten you and you're going into a rematch and they beat you in a convincing fashion, how hard is it, not on a physical note, but on a mental note, to try and overcome those sort of demons that may be in your head?
Well, it depends on the experience of the person you're talking about. In Joe Joyce's case, he's been an accomplished amateur boxer to the highest of levels, so he knows what it's all about, and he's at the top of his game in the professional rankings. Also, he's probably in the sort of the twilight of his years as well. So he's thickened out, he's mature. So it would have probably a lot lesser effect on Joe than it would someone of not so much experience. I don't think it would have. He would have been upset and very, very disappointed to have got so far and then let it slip away. But I hear that they've tightened up on some stuff that they needed to tighten up, and hopefully Saturday night it works out well for him.
Absolutely. Another sort of boxing topic I wanted to speak to you about. For someone like you that's been in the game for so long, trained so many fighters, more recently than ever, which is a good thing because people are getting caught. But we've seen so many positive drug tests from loads of fighters. When you see these happening, they're coming out, sort of. How concerning do you think it is when you see so many people testing positive in boxing at the moment?
Do you know what? It's a little bit bizarre, really. I don't know what it's all about, or where it comes from. I mean, it's difficult. It's difficult. It really is difficult because there's a lot of people get around fighters that really don't need to be around them. I'm not saying it's them, but I'm lost with it. But us as trainers, we know our animals in our gym, and we know their limits and their capabilities. And if there are any, if there's any changes, we generally can see them things if you're of experience. But I'm not too up to date with that part of the bodybuilding stuff and all that what you just mentioned, and all the drug side of it. Yeah, I'm just a coach and a trainer, but you do notice things. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, just the lastly from me, what we're expecting from your stable coming up? John Hedges, Joel Bartel. What's sort of coming up for you, mate? You got exciting things? Johnny Fisher.
Johnny Hedges is back in the gym Monday. He's been with me for the last 3 weeks, just doing light stuff because he had his hand. He had a hand operation, so he's back there. He's looking brilliant. He's looking marvellous. He's doing some great work with Sonny Cannon, our strength and conditioner, and all the foundations are built. And I'm hoping he's going to get a date soon before Christmas. And he's moving up to cruiserweight, and I think he's the best boxer in Great Britain right now, boxing-wise. IQ-wise, but that don't mean to say he can fight for the world title. He's got to go through the process like everyone else, but he's going to be a very, very exciting fighter in the near future. Joel Bartel, my middleweight, he's looking good. He's had 3 fights now. He's a very, very good fighter. A young guy, Giorgio Visioli, lightweight, excited amateur, just joined my camp. He's double ABA senior champion, 2 different weights. I'm very excited about him. He fights like Billy Joe Saunders. He's got that IQ and that speed and all of that. Punches a little bit well and all for a young man and all. Just time he sits down a little bit, turns a shot over here and there, pro him up a little bit. He's going to be very exciting. I promise you that. Hoping him to get out on a matchroom card before Christmas. Yeah.
Absolutely, Mark. Thank you. I'm trying to think. Johnny. And Finley, do you think I see Finley James well?
Johnny Fisher. Yes, Johnny Fisher. What a great job he did to win that Southern Area heavyweight title. He's been doing a bit of work with Sonny Cannon, our strength and conditioner. He's done a couple of sessions with myself, but we're going to pick things up in a couple of weeks' time with him, and I'm expecting him to fight, defend his title maybe. I don't know what he's going to do. It's up to Adam Morales, Jam, but I'm pretty sure he's going to be out before Christmas.
Absolutely, Mark.
Young Finley James.
Yeah, I was going to echo confident. Yeah.
Young Finley James, he's about to make an announcement of a fight, I think around the 11th of November at York Hall on the TM14 show. Yeah, so he's a tricky, awkward southpaw, and he's a good little boxer. And yeah, he's got to pry up a little bit. You know, he's just starting out. Yeah.
Absolutely, Mark. Thank you for your time. Always a pleasure to catch up with you, and I appreciate the words as well. Thank you, mate. Cheers. Top man. Thank you, mate.